Moana, this is Tina Cross. You know you're in the Cook Islands when you're listening to Matariki FM.
Tēki roto te atianga ko te Pitbull e te Don no tā rawa tuatua tika I roto I te popungi o. At this time, folks, it's the Pitbull and the Don on Maraerenga with some straight talking this morning. Kia ora, and good morning to you, George.
Yes, good morning to our listeners and good morning to you, our host of the show, the Don of the whole of Tupapa.
Look, I bought the Panadol.
You got the Panadol.
You can see, just in case I need it this morning. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I suspect you got some more revelations today.
Plenty of revelations.
What's the repercussion from last week's gas bag?
Well, we didn't see any denials in the media. I did hear someone on the radio say that they didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is loads of bollocks.
All right. So no one rang you and...
a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who did you blame for that?
Well, just the Democratic Party, as you know, has relied on the money from the office of the Leader of the Opposition. They've been able to fudge things here and there, and they don't have access to that. And it's like eventually the wheel needs to be oiled.
Right.
You see, not straight away, but eventually.
Okay.
And so that's where they're at now. There's no oil going into the machinery. There's no fundraising.
Okay.
So if there's any fundraising, it's coming out of the members of Parliament's pay.
Is it end times?
End times. Eschaton, it's called.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what do you want to share this week? I mean, last week was pretty painful for me, but let's...
well, you read
see.
the Herald. What do you want to talk about?
I read it, yeah. I'm not going to talk about it. Maybe you will.
Well, we were discussing last week about the opposition office gets $204,000 a year. What all I've done is while it had been under Eddie Drollett's regime, there was something like $1.2 million of taxpayers' money that was appropriated for that office in the budgets. And I asked the question, what have they got to show for it? I've had people make excuses, well, we used it to pay wages. I said, well, pay wages, but what was the result of payment for those wages? You know, Eddie Drollett was able to set his own pay scale, which was quite obese. He seldom worked more than 4 hours or 5 hours a day. So he's in a pretty good wicket for man. Well, I don't know if he did any work, William, but he'd show up to the office. He'd show up there. It doesn't mean to say you're working. It just means to say you're at a particular location that's... but, you know, paying staff, you look at the staff, what are their contributions, what are their outputs? The net result is when Eddie Drollett left, handed over the purse strings to George Tudia, he had overspent. And that's what I'm told from audit.
Right. Some
contacts in audit that he'd overspent, and it's up to the new CEO to repay that money. So after 5.5 years, what has that office got to show? He never once criticised government because of his conflicts of interest or where his wife worked, where his daughter worked. He made sure that whenever it was budget time, he'd disappear to Archu, so he wasn't around to advise the Leader of the Opposition on aspects of the budget to be raised. And most, I list a couple of examples of some of the jobs the caucus had asked him to do, which he never did.
Yeah.
Like monitoring the travel of the Prime Minister. His excuse was, this was 2006. No one in the opposition office could say, the PM has been away, say for example, this April, he's been away for so many days, he's travelled to so many countries in the world. You know, estimated expenditure from the civil list, he could never be able to do that. Kept saying it was too hard. Well, he was paid $1,300 a week to know those things. He relied on the media, though he wasn't media friendly. But anyway, that's a history lesson. There is the Democratic Party opposition squandered more than $1.2 million of public money. We have a right to ask the serious questions because that's our money. It's taxpayers' money. It's not their money. And I've been told by demos that, that's not true. I said, you were never told the financials of the leader of the opposition because you are not privy to that. All right? The Democratic Party is not privy to the expenditure and the income of the office of the leader of the opposition. That's a different issue. That's a caucus issue. That's a parliamentary issue. They have a right to know how much the party owes, and I raise those questions. How much does the party owe? How much is owed to the party? Whatever they're owed, how are they paying it back? They made some serious loans that haven't been repaid. They're struggling to pay the legal fees for the petitions that they had. You see, they're not in a position to give anything away. Paul Lynch got his job because he was owed $43,000, which the Cook Islands Party, when they became government, were able to pay a small measure of that back, but they gave him a job that compensated him for his fees. Now, that's no secret. But the demos lost. They didn't get into power through any petitions, and they won the majority of the vote, but they're still outside the House, and as they don't control the purse strings, so they couldn't repay the serious investment they made in legal fees.
Okay. Anything else on this subject? Because I'm waiting to get on to something else.
Okay. There's a lot more. I've got some more information coming out.
Yeah. So,
I'm waiting for people tonight, and then I'll produce the specifics.
Yeah.
Of this is the money that's gone into there. This is the pay these people have received. And basically, Eddie Drollett wasn't answerable to anybody but himself.
So is there an audit being conducted, a investigation?
Well, there's always an audit when there's a change of guard.
Yeah.
You know, when a new minister comes in or
New leader.
Is a new leader or whatever ministry, that gets audited because the new guy, he wants a fresh start. And George Turia is right.
I think it was about May last year that the changeover, wasn't it?
Well,
that's when Taina became the leader of the opposition.
It was about June.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
May,
right.
June, yeah. So even after George Turia became the CEO of the opposition office, Drollett was still on the payroll for another 5 months. So he's been a very good wicket. And now that the demos don't have access to that money, they're in serious financial trouble. They're insolvent. Here's a party that's been pointing fingers at the government, a corrupt government at that, and at the same time, they have an underbelly of what they've done with public money. And so too should they be held accountable for that. You can't say we should be the government if you're no better. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend anybody vote for the Democratic Party because, sometimes you're better with the devil you know than the one you don't know. How can you? It's not a change. It's a swap. One dysfunctional lot for another. And so when you've got, you lack any serious political acumen and intelligence, how can you run the country when you can't even run your own office?
Well, okay, you're raising all of these things, both sides of the fence. What needs to happen?
I was criticised. Oh, you're attacking I said I don't attack. I just expose whatever's there. I expose what the corrupt Cook Islands Party is up to. I'm not heaping praise upon them. The only praise I give them is that they can outsmart no matter what. And like I said last week, Henry Punna's not a popular leader, but he's smart. He's politically smart. He's got that the ability to wriggle out of things. But you've got to understand, he's got political depth. He's been around a long time. He's seen a lot. He's been in the inner circle. He's been exposed to a lot. And he gives the appearances that he's cool and calm and collected. Well, he may be on the outside, but he's churning over inside all his options, and he's a man of options. And every sort of political gamble he's taken, he's never been stung for. They were seriously on the way out when he called a snap election, or an early election, sorry. And they end up winning. But now I wrote an article that said that Demos would not win that election, and it became true.
And it came to pass.
And I gave the reasons why. I didn't say you're not going to win because it was just an emotional a comment, because I didn't like certain. I didn't think they were at the point of just taking government, but they made some serious political errors during the campaign. Anyway, that's a history lesson. And they're about to repeat themselves.
Okay.
They just don't have the political smarts
Right.
in the party. They're a wait-and-see party. And I can understand the One Cook Islands of, they're plotting their future. They've been proactive about their future, but we can't say that for the Democratic Party. And woes unto them.
Well, okay. Is that it?
Well,
until
if
next
you want to
time.
know the rest, just read the Cook Islands Herald. It's all there.
Yeah. No, I've
in
read
detail.
I read the story.
Well, to the listeners, go and get the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a listen to the Minister of Finance yesterday? Our chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything in there that you want to?
Well, it's what was
Comment
not
on?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, you did ask about cabinet.
Yeah.
One of the things that he didn't mention was the cabinet had received and discussed the findings of Tapiteo's boat ending up on the reef in Nassau.
Okay.
The report is out,
And
but it's only in the hands of cabinet at this moment.
right.
Apart from those that wrote the report, it's been kept very quiet.
What do you know?
I don't even think Tapi's seen the report.
Okay. So what do you know of the report besides it's there at cabinet? Do you know what's in it?
Yes.
Share it.
Well, my understanding, it was human error by the captain. My understanding that he put the boat in reverse instead of in forward, and because of the currents, he was not familiar with the currents. That meant that the boat ended up on the reef, and that there's this story about the rope around the propeller. That was rope from the boat itself.
Okay.
Wasn't
Interesting.
any fishing. So it doesn't sound good for Tapi, and I feel very sorry for him. But I understand it was human error, or just the lack of experience being in those waters in Nassau, the particular currents. The captain was not familiar with them, and it was human error. That's what I am led to believe is the essence of the report.
Okay.
How that fares with the insurance companies. Insurance companies will try and find a way out.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They investigate something to find a way out. I know all about that.
Right.
I used to be a fireman in Auckland, and whenever someone's house burnt down, the insurance assessor would come and then blame it all on the owner of the house, so they wouldn't have to pay anything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what else surfaced in cabinet that the minister did raise yesterday?
Well, that was one thing that everybody's been waiting to hear or find out about. And I got busy yesterday, and otherwise I would have managed to get a copy.
Right.
But no doubt it'll come up. It'll surface soon. And internal affairs. I heard you ask about what's happening in internal affairs.
Yeah.
I understand the appointment will be an acting appointment until it falls in line with other HOMS contract renewals. and then it'll be made a permanent fixture.
Okay. So, is there a need of it to go to Cabinet? The acting...
Well, I think that decision basically lies with the Public Service Commissioner, but he takes his recommendation to Cabinet, who formalise the decision.
And do you know who he might be recommending to Cabinet?
Well, I saw a Chook's Corner talking about Peter, Paul and Myra.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that folk group, Peter, Paul and Mary?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I see someone write a comment, Peter, Paul and Myra.
Okay. All right. So, will that happen this week, do you think?
Well, it's interesting because neither of those three on the shortlist are CIP loyalists.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Does the government really need to buy the opposition supporters?
Well, no, it's that's what
Because
they're
that's
saying.
how it's
They said,
shaping up, isn't it?
We're not, we don't, we try to get the best person for the job. That was what I heard Mark Brown say.
Well,
then he gave some examples. Well, look, we've employed this one and this one and that one,
Well, he didn't put it across like that yesterday. He was boasting that that the government was able to get opposition supporters to join them.
Well, if you were a strong opposition supporter or Democratic Party supporter, it's little wonder why you would want to pack your bags and leave purely from the frustration, I guess.
Well, I mean, the saying, if you can't beat them, join them.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so maybe early next week then on the replacement or the acting Secretary for Internal Affairs.
Well, I think it was because not everybody was here, and it's been very sad news this week that the Deputy Prime Minister, Tereki Heathers, had another loss.
Yeah.
His family, that's very sad news.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's offer him our support and our prayers.
Sure.
And our condolences. He's lost a wife, now he's lost a
Daughter.
daughter. He's going through some serious stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why he keeps making public appearances. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. I mean, it's a big week this week with people passing away. Yesterday, the family service of Apu Simpson.
Yeah, that was... was never made public what he died of.
I think the agreement is a heart attack at home Sunday night. Yeah. So
he seemed a very lively person. I thought, did he have a heart attack? And I thought, well, he seemed a pretty, a go-to person and always on the go.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you're a good person. The saying, only the good die young.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to live a long life, just be bad.
Well, the lady of the Sunrise was telling me last night that Apu got sacked 4 times by Sam Crocombe. Yeah, and the last time he went back, he went through Sam's wife. Yeah. And then he was told to have a long holiday, and when he's ready to come back, so he never went back. He went to join Kevin Cook.
Well, I used to have a particular person like that at television.
Yeah.
You'd sack him, and the next day he'd be back at work. They'd say, "Hey, what are you doing here? I sacked you yesterday." "Oh, yes, boss, but I'm back."
Yeah.
And they just...
I want my job.
Water off a duck's back.
I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, eh? Wouldn't you be sacked and you go back and say, I want my job?
Well, this particular guy never used to even ask. He'd just show up and carry on as if nothing was said the previous day or the previous 2 days before that. And in the end, we just all laugh about it.
Yeah.
He's been sacked, like you say, many times. That particular work, and he's still there.
Yeah. Anything else from the Minister Mark Brown's chat yesterday you want to touch on?
Well, he did speak a bit about the Aitutaki. There were rumours flying around that the CEO from the Aitutaki Power Authority had been sacked, but I understand that's not quite correct.
Yeah.
Long is still at the helm and working through the issues, but the indication was that there was some deficiencies at board level, and these board members were appointed in 2014. And there was talk that there was never any appointment. They were appointed, and there is a cabinet minute in existence about the appointment. And but I don't think they ever got paid. They were doing it voluntary.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. I was on that. I
Were
was
you?
on the very first board. Sir Geoffrey Henry had asked me to be on the first board,
Right.
but I soon got. After a while, I got thrown off that board too. And the excuse was I didn't have the technical, background.
Yeah.
But they needed a business mind in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So do you know what's going to happen out there?
They were
I
going
think the minister was saying that they're going to the restructure and maybe need some legislation for that particular authority.
Well, they're gonna choose. Do they come under Te Ponga? I mean, that goes against devolution,
Yeah.
or they stay as they are. And I understand the Otakans don't want to come under Te Ponga.
Yeah.
They can see how it can work. It is working to some measure, and it's they don't want to come under a centralised body.
Did they? Was there a need to change the board?
Well, if you want to change things, we call it we're restructuring.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of saying we're going to want to sack some people, want to change a few things, and
Yeah.
put this person, that person in there, and we call it we're restructuring. So everybody's been terminated, and you can all apply for your jobs back once the restructuring has been done.
Right.
Yeah.
But was there a need for it?
Well,
Do you think so?
the government seems to think so. We're not privy to all the facts. We're
Because when I asked the minister yesterday, what was wrong with the board, with these guys, and he said they earned $1.8 million,
Yes.
and that's a big. I mean, he made it sound like it's like a sin. They shouldn't have made that much money, but we want it, So, okay.
Oh, well, like I said, this government is struggling to pay its bills.
Yeah.
And they're trying to grab every bit of money they can. Oh, yes. I mean, time will prove us right with it. It will be, one day be able to say, see, it came to pass.
Right.
Well,
we're saying that
government
quite
was
regularly.
in financial difficulties.
Yeah.
But they keep harping on about the huge surplus that they have.
Well, you were around in 96, 97, when all of this pressure on government was around. Can you see any similar signs to what happened back then today?
Well, I guess the people in the administration now weren't here then.
Yeah.
Cook Island News had an article way back in 95
Right.
by a local economist who said if the government keeps going the way it's going to go, it's going to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And they, the person that gave this analysis of the economy is proven to be right at the time. But the warning was there.
Yeah.
But it was the person was sort of in the wilderness, yelling the warning in the wilderness. No one was taking any notice of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about today, though?
Well, the economy is sustained by the influx of foreign
Aid.
and the generosity of our donors. Yes.
Yeah.
And you take that away. This is why I said about Murray. Mark Brown needs Murray because that opens the door to some serious funding. Well, it's not funding; it's gifted money
Yeah.
through the Environment Fund, the Global Environment Fund.
I went to a meeting a couple of days ago with the Muri Action Group, the local community, with the consultant. The consultant started talking about doing more consultation work and so on. Manavaro Mataipu wants to dredge Avana Harbour, put the sand back in Muri, wherever, sell it, as long as it's dredged to get some flushing going, and also the natural channels, the ones that you want to blow up. They're all blocked, so they need to clear those so that water can flush in and out of the lagoon. That's what the Manavaro was saying. The consultants say, we need to go through the process of getting a permit, EIA and all of that sort of stuff. And that could take a couple of years. Yeah. So you been out there lately in Muri?
Well, I get supplied photographs, aerial photographs from time to time.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. And in actual fact, the spread of this algae around the island is starting to complicate things. Of course, the consultant's going to say, let's have more reports. I can show you reports to go back as far as 1992, 93, to do with the Muri Beach area, lagoon, and every single one of them, it talks about flushing. And this goes back when before the intensity or the density, or the build-up of the Muri foreshore. It's very dense. It's very cramped in there. It's like no inches left. Because the Muri has been a real icon. It's the heartbeat of our tourism industry. But in one sense, it needs to be dealt with urgently. In the other sense, the government needs a deficit situation, a situation that's deteriorating in environment, so they can get their claws on some money. And I can bet your boots that the climate change people working at the Prime Minister's office are working on this, how to get their hands on that money. Because the Cook Islands has a good reputation in terms of its environmental projects and development and preservation.
There's some fear out there by those residents that are compliant in regards to the health standards of the waste management, okay, the waste, the human waste and that. In regards to those properties that are not compliant, the fear of the new reticulation idea or thinking would delay them even more from being compliant. What I'm hearing from the consultant as well, one of the things that can be done really, really quick in the short term is to desludge all of the current systems, clean them out, and also make those other properties, those properties that are non-compliant, compliant. And that's despite what's going to be coming up in the future, because we don't know how far that reticulation system is going to be away. Maybe this is going to be a big campaign issue for you, George.
Well, one of the things they could do is it would be a good little business would be a good big business for a sewage disposal company.
Yes, money and shit.
Just go around and keep emptying the septic tanks, every single one of them in that area. And when you're finished, just keep going again and starting again. Yeah. And it'll be a lot cheaper. That might cost you $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
And that'd be a lot cheaper than spending $70 to $100 million for a system which may fail in itself. As I said, that $70 million pipe dream, that's all it's going to be. It's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
A series of pipes that will it'll never happen, William.
Okay.
Because they still haven't got te matawai. And te matawai has to do with clean water.
That's right.
We're talking about dirty water, sewage, smells. Where's all that poop going to go?
Yeah, exactly.
And if they were going to do this, it would have been done 25 years ago.
Right.
And you would have had a water treatment plant in the backdrops of Matavera. But there was such an uproar about the Muris and the Ngaringas Tute coming to Matavera. And it all got rejected by the landowners.
Well, Te Au Kamana said to me, every time I go around to someone's place to clean their septics, they say, we can smell, shit. He says, no, I can't smell that. I smell money.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're just about out of time. The Governor-General, Dame Patsy Reddy's on the island. You got any message for her? Did you get an invite to go and have morning tea with her tomorrow?
No,
Why not?
I didn't get an invite.
It's sent to Pit Media. You should have got. You're the boss there.
No, I'm not the boss. I'm the owner.
You're the owner. Okay,
Yeah.
the owner. Yeah, you should have got one.
Well, I did suggest I was on the invitation list, but that got ignored.
Mm.
But
Okay. Someone else.
reciprocity might be the order of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, George. Anything else you want to just wrap up on, and then we'll call it quits for today?
Quits already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I need to go and take some Panadol because
No,
that
there's
first
no
part of
need
the
to-
program. You see, I've got two. Oh no, that's one pack there. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see any great denials as a result of the story last week and what we talked about, and I don't expect them to be any denials about the story this week,
Yeah.
because if they push it too far in their denials, we can come back with some more information that's
Okay.
and publish the information as it is, and say, or otherwise say, give us a set of your accounts that you've had for the last 5 years.
Okay, George. Thank you for your straight talking this morning. We'll catch up next week.
Okay, listeners, goodbye.
Kia ora, Anna, this is Cheetah Cross. You know you're in the Cook Islands when you're listening to Matariki FM.